Hello, brothers. Welcome to session 2 of Mentality Conversations for Men. My name is Dumiso Mazibugo, and I'm a strong man who is living and thriving with mental health issues. Now, let me put a disclaimer right here as we even begin this conversation on this second session of Mentality Conversations for Men, that none of what we say here, none of what I say here constitutes medical, psychological, psychiatrical advice. And so even with everything that I want to say, you still need to consult a medical and psychological expert. Some people have often asked me, especially men and guys, how and when do I know that I really have a problem mentally? I mean, all of us have moments where we've got feelings that are low, sad, where when we're exhausted, when we're just not, in a good mood, in a good space, when you're exhausted, just tired and exhausted. We all have that. It's part of the normal human experience. I want to make it very clear that that is not what we're talking about here. We are not talking about what you call a bad mood, what you call feeling sad and feeling down. I'm here to talk to a community of men that are dealing with specific clinical, diagnosable conditions. Whether you know you have it or not, whether you're being treated or not, whether you are in therapy or not. But I want to talk to that community. I want to talk to those brothers, and this is for men. One of the key ways that we know that we have a problem that's bigger than just a bad mood or low emotions is when it starts interfering with your functioning, with your daily life. When it interferes with work, interferes with relationships, it interferes with your sleep, interferes with your marriage, your sex life, when you're in the state of your mind, when the state of your mental health interferes with you being there and being you, the you that you need to be in various areas of your life, then we know that there's a problem. And sometimes what's also looked at is the duration of that. How long has that been happening? I'm going to take you to a very difficult part of my life when I absolutely knew that I was dealing with a much bigger problem than just not feeling okay. What many people do not know is that in November of 2024, that's last year, I was admitted into a psychiatric hospital, psychiatric center, because I crashed. I crashed and burned. And in video number 1, I shared about how last year I lost my mother and how difficult it was, and went through therapy. And I even confessed last time that I've still not cried. I can update you still that I still haven't. It will come. What I tried to do after I lost my mother, I tried to do a number of things. Number 1, I tried to be there wholeheartedly and to be strong for my family. And my mother was a pastor as well. And I tried to be there in a greater way for her ministry that she was pastoring alongside my father. Tried to apply myself and throw myself. And in essence, what I wasn't realizing was that I was trying to replace her. I felt that if I could do just some of what she was doing in the lives of all that knew her, that their journey would be easier. And it didn't work. It didn't work because I failed. It didn't work because it killed me. It didn't work because that's not how it works. One thing that my therapist taught me was that when someone dies, it's okay for a gap and a void to be felt. It's okay. It's supposed to be that way. A gap must be there. That person is no longer there. And when you lose somebody and you're trying to close their gap, you're actually going against nature. So a gap is supposed to be felt because it also highlights the importance of this individual and the value that this individual who's no longer there had. It shows how valuable they were in our lives. And when we realize that and remember that, we then get into a place where we can celebrate the value because we can see the gap. And so I tried to do that, and other thing that I tried to do was throw myself back into work as per normal. And many of you know that I host a podcast, and I took a short break, and I tried, because of pressure from those who did not understand what I was going through, and also because of me not understanding fully what I was going through, I succumbed to pressure of trying to resume broadcasting and podcasting, and it didn't work. The demand from the audience, demand from those around me was, come back, throw yourself back in. And so many people, when we are not okay, here's the thing as well that I want to say to men, is that many people, when you are not okay, you will start to learn that they value what you do and what you bring and not really who you are. They don't value you. They value what you put on the table. And if you're not careful, if you measure your own value based on what you do, you will throw yourself into situations that you're not ready for. I did that. I'm cutting a very long story short. Try to throw myself back into work, in the creative space, even in ministry. And something happened one November morning. Opened my eyes. I was alone in the house. Opened my eyes. Woke up in the morning. And I could not move. I could not move. I could not move. My vision was blurred. I could barely orientate myself as to where I am, although it was my bedroom that I'm so used to. Couldn't do anything. Mind you, I had big hopes and dreams for that day. Somehow, I had a long to-do list. I had made promises. I'd be here for that appointment and that, and I'll submit this and do that task and all of that. And I woke up and I could not do anything. My heart rate was up. My chest was tight. My mind was fuzzy. I couldn't do anything. And immediately I picked up the phone. Before I could even talk to anyone else, picked up the phone. I called my psychologist and I said, I think I need to be admitted. I was at a breaking point. I was at a point where my physical life was in danger. Like I've never felt that close to death than that morning. And she said she'll make the arrangements. Call the hospital. Hospital says, yes, I can come in through. She tells me to pack clothes for a 2 to 3 week stay in the hospital. So I had to pack a lot of stuff, packed. But here's the thing, from the moment I got the call to pack and to say that admission has been granted, it took me 5 hours to pack a bag, toiletries, clothes, this and that, simple stuff. I would stand up, pack, sit down, breathe, stand up again, pack, da-da-da, and finally I finished after 5 hours. Hospital thought I wasn't coming anymore. Called an Uber, got into the Uber, went to hospital, stayed there for 2 weeks. Supposed to be 3. Then I started to feel physically sick at the hospital. I caught some bug and they decided to let me go because there was some bug going on around. And so I'm painting a picture. You know that the problem is bigger when it interferes with functioning, when you can't do what you used to do. And that moment for me came at a very inconvenient time where work-wise I was responsible for a major project, and I had to pull the plug. By pulling the plug, meaning pull myself out of the plug. I had to ask myself the question: when am I going to prioritize myself? When am I going to put myself first? When am I going to choose to live and not die? And that was the day. And I, for the first time, was able to make a selfish decision, if you want to call it selfish, and prioritize myself. It's hard to admit that as a man, you can't function, you can't do what you need to do, because as men, we pride ourselves from what we can do. Achievement is the measure sometimes of our value as men. So when you are told, or when you realize you can't do, it's a hard reality to accept. It's a hard pill to swallow. But the truth is, all of us need to know when to stop. All of us need to know when to take a break. All of us need to know when to say, I can't. It's difficult to be in that situation when you have responsibilities, because life doesn't wait for us. Life doesn't move at the pace of our health, even as men. So that was hard also. What was harder, though, as a man, was to hear certain words being said to me at the time by people in my life. I had one person who said to me, "Stop being weak," from the hospital. Stop being weak. Another one said, and these are all spiritual people, Christians, don't allow this, refuse, pray, plead the blood of Jesus, use your faith. Ungavumi. In Zulu, that means don't allow this. Here's what ignorance does, or did, to those people. They thought I chose to be the way that I was. They thought I wanted to be where I was. And gents, listen to me out there. The way that you are, if you're not okay, it's not because you want it. It's not your fault even. So come out of that guilt. The guilt of admitting I'm not okay. The guilt of saying I need to take leave. The guilt of saying I can't. The guilt of saying I'm leaving. The guilt of saying I cannot be part of this relationship anymore. The guilt of saying I'm going to disappoint you. I'm going to disappoint you, but right now I can't. Don't allow yourself to be made to feel like you chose it, you wanted it to be that way. Things were happening in my body chemically that I had no control of. things were happening in my mind, in my body, that I had no control of. But if I had not taken this decision to get help, I don't think I'd be alive today. I think my children will be fatherless. And I'm not saying that to be dramatic. You see, even that, what I just did right now, I had to put a disclaimer. I had to put a precursor to what I'm saying. I had to explain. I am not saying I'm dramatic. I'm not saying that because we are conditioned that when we express weakness, we express struggle as men, we are being sissies. We're being weak. We're being punks. We're being boys, that you must man up and be strong. My brother, if you're not okay, I want you to understand that it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. And once you start seeing your mentality and your state of mind interfering with your life, know that there's a problem. Consult professionally. And there's help in so many places. Reach out and talk to somebody. Drop me a DM if you don't know where to go and what to do. If you need to talk to somebody, drop to a DM. My name is Ndumiso Mazibuko. I'm a strong man who is living and thriving with mental health issues. I'll see you on the next one.